Reasons for them to not subscribe. Number one, they don't have the Google account. You need a Google account to subscribe, and there are a lot of Europeans, different people who have different email address, and they don't bother to just make one Gmail account just to subscribe. So they just leave it. Like some people are Outlook, Live, Hotmail, and there's some from China, Japanese. The other people they have different countries like Japanese.com, Jap email, these kind of things. They don't come to the Google just to make a one email to subscribe. You need to subscribe to do it. So that's the reason. There are a lot of views. The views is about getting like 3 lakh. So that means the views there, subscribers are less. It's the same reason. So anybody who's in UK with Gmail, they are subscribing. Not everybody. Okay. Back. So let's go to the next part now. Yeah. Risk management. Now, whatever we have mentioned before, we're gonna bring it back. They all interlink with each other on the next. So let's say you done the first part, you done the story, who gonna do what you gonna do, which lesson, what you gonna structure, how you going to do the level one, talk through. You done everything. Like let's say you already bubble me up with all the information and say, oh, I'm very excited. Now let's go show me. So this is a short time now. Anything we was talking before, you was not doing nothing. You was just talking. That is the talking part where the talking comes with everything. This is the short time now, when you are actually on the road and doing it. Okay. After that, we will talk about how you're going to do that one. So number one, they did the train and ensured that the people fully understood how the responsibility for risk would be shared. Again, don't think just saying in the beginning about your dual control is enough. Why? Because I think the risk is very less when you are in a stationary car. What is the risk you have in the stationary car? Nothing. So where the risk will come when the car will move, right? When the car will move, do you sometimes get time to talk about the risk? Because you said you can watch more ahead than a student. But sometimes situation will be that way. You don't get no time to talk. Then how are you gonna share it? Whether you're gonna take a risk to just stay quiet, or you're gonna just jump it, use the dual controls, and then you talk about it. So what will be the first thing? I normally say the first thing you can do this very easily. If you are an instructor watching all the way 26 meter over here, but do it same way around you. And what you are doing, can you find the risk anywhere around you? Front, right, left, back, everywhere. So keep finding. Like when they say if you want to find the fault, you find the fault more easily than anything like a good thing. Risk is like this. You just find it. Feel yourself as a driver. Feel you the one who's driving. Which thing's going to affect you as a perception? From the front, from the back, right, left, anywhere. Do you have a time to talk about it? Talk about it. If you don't have time to talk about it, then prompt him. Right? It can be a cycle, it can be the lorry, it can be the bus, it can be the parked car. Or maybe if everyone parked nicely and then one guy is parked badly, his position is changing. Talk about that car then. Pick, find, keep finding, keep picking. Right? Okay, now the time comes you pick it. Now what they're talking about is this one. How you going to be ensure the student understand how you're going to do, like how you're going to deal with it. First thing again, question him. You do it or I do it? Okay, I do it. Okay, if you're deciding to do it, so you're taking a full responsibility to do it, can you please tell me your lesson structure, how you're going to do it? What is your plan? Can you share your plan with me? So I can make a tick or I make this. Your plan is good or not? So if your plan is good, I will let you do it. Because that way I know your plan is good, so there is a less chance of a risk. Still, there's a chance of a fault. Maybe you're thinking your plan is good because you never dealt with the plan yet. Many times we think, oh, I can do it, like you said, we can do. I will do it, I will do. But when you go there, no, I will overestimate myself. I can't do it. So that means responsibility going to be changed again. If it's going to go change, how are we going to ask each other help? Some people, what they do, they say go for the traffic light and already share this with your student and say, okay, if you can do it by yourself, say I'm green. If you can't do it, tell me I'm yellow. And if you need full help, tell me this. So like independent, from talk through. Make agreement with them again. Anytime in your lesson, if you need any help from me, say I'm ready. Because I don't have time to talk with each other. We have to deal it. We're getting close to the hazard. There's no time. Say I'm ready. I'm ready. I know what you mean. Because we made agreement of responsibility share. Oh, I'm green on that. Can you see the cycle? Yeah, I'm green on that. Good, continue. And you are just watching it. Why? You finish the talk with a few seconds, straight away. Less talking because you already made the agreement. When you this, tell me this. When you this, tell me this. When you this. So that is a agreement. And that agreement examiner want to see in your lesson structure according to his ability and experience. Now, if the student don't have the ability and experience to say these things, then don't make that agreement then, because you don't have the ability to do it. And if you don't have the ability to do it, again, that person is not good for you to go in the test because he can't do these things then. And that way you clear. Oh, he know what he say. When he's needed, he say this to me. When he see, this is how we do it every day, and that works for us. That is how you want to learn. All right, good. And then you ask him every time, and he have to respond you back. That is how you say you ensure he understands. Do you understand? Yes. Done. How you ensure? I asked him. You understand? He said yes. So he understands. You ensure? Yes. This is the guarantee. He said yes. How come? Do you think he have the ability, or he just say, "Oh, I will do it"? No, I know his ability. I know his experience. This is why I structured the lesson according to that one. We already lesson agreed on that point as well. I already shared him where I'm going to take him. We already set the goals and already have made the lesson structure. We will do this in a way. Step one, step two, step three. So there's no chances of the risk. There's no chances of the mistake. We are on a systematic way, doing everything in a one way. I'm not just bringing the things together. We're doing in a very nice order. So when that way is happened, I mean, the trainer is ensured the people fully understand responsibility share. Let's say you decided to share the work. One way is this simple, you can do it. Other way, let's say you don't done this one and say, oh, have you done this cycle overtaking before? No, I've never done it before. Don't worry about that. Okay, you follow my instructions and we do it step by step. Okay, first of all, do you remember what the highway code say? Yeah, I said give plenty of room. What that means plenty of room to me? Or where you have enough room that I don't fall down on me. Yeah, perfect, good. Now when you get closer, start checking. Is anyone overtaking you? No. Is he overtaking anybody? No. Everything is smooth. Yeah, good. Now do you anybody at the back got benefit of signal? Now because you have to talk through this process, need to start a little bit early. So let's say this is the table. This is where you are. This is where the cycle is. You have to stop talking from that early because you need a big time to talk. But if you're going to prompt him, right, you can start from here because you're not going to talking too much. And if you want to leave him independent, still give yourself enough time to ask him a question here because maybe his answer is right, maybe his answer is wrong. Do you know how to overtake him? Yeah, I know how to do it. Okay, tell me how you do it. You're listening his plan up till here. If he's got a right plan, you're going to let him do it. If not, you still got a time to take over. And you say, oh, listen to my instruction. What you're telling me, you was right up till here. From here is wrong. You said me you will do the mirror signal and then you will go back to the left. But you did not say what is the best time to go left. You may be going to knock him down. Okay? Do starting big, ending we do together. Because that ending you told me is not a right story. This is not how you do it. This is a risk. Okay. So that means I start as normal. Yes, do it. So mirror signal, that's fine. This is a good space plateau. Now, let's do it together. Don't go back now. Carry on, washing in the mirrors properly. Do the light saving. See, it is not shake because of your overtaking. Or yeah, everything fine. Oh yeah, that's nicely so he don't get. And make sure you have the distance. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, I was thinking I need to come in front of him. Yeah, you do, but not the way you said me before. Now, if you think his ability and experience is not enough, you need to stop over to explain that in more detail you have to do it. Why? If the other cycle will come, you will take a risk again. Or otherwise, he will rely on you that he will do the start and you do the ending. Okay, that's fine. But this is about today again. We are not making you a student for today, for lifetime. One time you can tell him, second time you tell him, what are you going to do the lifetime? Somehow he have to take the responsibility now completely, so he do again in the future alone. You correct him, so whether you can tell him on the go, make a new agreement. If you see the new cycle again, will you be able to do this now in a good order? Or you still need my help? Can we do one more time with you, please? No problem. We do one more time with you. Again, agreement. Now you remember, he do the start, you do the ending together. That is how your responsibilities shape because you had a discussion for the next cyclist. Maybe you're going to see the cycles now, or you may be not going to see the cycle in the lesson now. If you don't see it, create the example. Let's say you are in the straight road. Let's say, okay, assume that parked car is a cycle. How are you going to do it from the start to the end? I will do this way, this way, this way. This is perfect, good. So that means it looks like you're able to do it now. You got ability and little experience now. The next time you can do it. So if next time cycle will come, you agree that I will leave you to do it, unless you do anything wrong. New agreement. Yes. Yes. Then you leave it. If it comes, it comes. If it don't comes, you don't need to talk about it. You pass the responsibility to him for the lifetime now. And he proved you once, even there was a no cycle, you choose the opportunity to use the fast car as example, and he show you in the best way. Okay? So every time, from the beginning to the end, anything you doing, tell me. I'm the examiner at the back. Tell me, you doing what? Who is doing what? You doing this, you doing that. Okay. First time you do together. Now next time again it comes. Who's gonna do it? You or you? But you're gonna continue the same way. If you're gonna continue same way, for how long you gonna continue same way? There should be one point where you don't do it, he do it. End of the day, he need to do it. And how I know what is the agreement? We do three cycles together. The fourth one, you do it. Oh yeah, I'm agree with you. Agreement done. This is the first overtake with the first cycle. This is the second one. This is the third one. Now, do you remember we agreed the fourth one you do it? Are you ready for that? Yes. You are sure? And he said yes. Leave it. But how you can do this with your wordings? Does it? You join the dual carriageway this time with my help. Can you join the next time with you alone? Okay, then I will stay quiet. You do it unless you do it me alone. Agreement. So the old stuff, lesson plan, come back again. But this time, this lesson plan is for that chunk only. But where is the agreement? Tell me there is agreement. Yes. So I'm feeling more secure sitting at the back. There's no risk next time involved when you overtake to the circle because you decide each other easily. There's nothing to do, just your words. Is clear, clear? Yeah. So we go to the next one. Directions and instruction given to the pupil clearly in the good time. I normally say only one thing you cannot tell to the student in a good time, but everything else you can tell in a good time. Come to the lesson structure. Come to your student experience. Full license holder, newly experienced. Oh, you've been to hear this road before? Yeah, that's why I go work every day. You know there's a three roundabouts come on this road. Yeah, I know about it. Okay, good. I want you to go straight from all three. Is that clear? Yeah, towards the arrow gate. Yes, yes, it's towards the arrow. Okay, good. Why you have to wait for the roundabout to come? I want you to go straight from that roundabout. I want you to go straight from that roundabout. Can't you just ask him his experience? He got experience. He been to this road so many times. Maybe he driving, or maybe he's a passenger. He know the three roundabouts come on the way. He even know the direction as well. Oh, that's my school. That's my office. Whatever. Okay. All three roundabout. I want you to go straight. Save yourself a time. You are telling him in a good time, in a clear way, and when you ask him, you understand, yeah, I know about it, I'm agree. That's it. Do you want me to remind you? If I forget, otherwise I will remember. Or do you remind me? Yeah, my memory is not good, remind me please. Agreement. Reminding or not reminding? Agreement again. Agreement of what? Yes, in structure. So you help yourself, you buy the time from here, spend that time, do something else. How many times you go to the roundabout and you did not tell your student where you're thinking of going? Then you go to the roundabout and say, okay, I want you to go straight to the roundabout second exit. Looking for the gap, and then you have less time to talk, and you have to take over the responsibility quickly, and you go into the talk through. Oh, slow down, don't go, because you left this to do in the last minute. You say, okay, soon we're going to the roundabout. I want you to go straight from the roundabout, okay? If you forget, ask me again. I will remind you. And if I feel you forget, I will remind you. Yeah, that's right. Agreement. Okay. Now tell me how you gonna find the gap. Or I'm gonna look straight and right and know where I will go. Perfect. Tell me, is it clear? Yeah, I'm going. Well done. Good. So you spend the same time on keeping the car more safe and talk about other stuff rather than come to the roundabout, then giving the direction. And plus, my mind, my mind 50% to listen to you for the direction, and my mind 50% to do the roundabout. But if you done that job early in a good time, I can spend the 100% mind just do the roundabout because I'm already know. So treat this as a tom tom. Tom tom telling you half a mile early. After 1 mile, go to the roundabout, go straight. Because Tom Tom feel like you know this ability and experience, you know what you're gonna do, so you can plan something else. So I tell you, imagine if the Tom Tom start telling you in the last minute. Even they tell you in a good time, people still do wrong. Yeah, even the Tom Tom is telling you in a good time, still people do wrong when they get there.
I
Now,
I have a student who, this one guy, he always struggles to remember. Like I tell him in good time,
hmm,
but then I realized that I have to repeat it at least twice before we get to the actual.
yeah.
Okay, so I will tell him in good time. I'll see. Okay, on the roundabout we'll take the
do
first.
you do you, do you share that responsibility and make agreement? I will tell you.
Yeah. So like I do tell him.
You saying that you do tell him, but is there any agreement with you and student? I
Yeah.
will tell you.
I, in what sense? Like
You said you keep forgetting,
yeah.
and you decided by your own. I will tell you.
Yeah. I remind you that yeah. No, I didn't ask.
So that's what they want. That's what they want. Just say the student, okay, because you keep forgetting it, we need to find a way where you one point you start remembering it. How about I remind you for 5-10 minutes,
Mhm.
and then after that 1-2 time I don't remind you to see if you can do it.
Mhm.
Are you agree with me? Yeah. This is how we're gonna share the responsibility, deal that junction
Yeah.
safely. Are you agree with me? Yes. And then you continue. This is the partnership work.
Yeah, to discuss that, but
Yeah.
like, not to make a plan.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'll do
That's
this.
your plan.
So he'll remember next time.
That it will be your lesson structure. But if you do this with him,
Mhm.
then you should doing work together. You doing the lesson together, not you. And that is where everyone do the mistake. You think it's you who's doing the lesson. Yeah, that is where the mistake comes. When you feel like it's you,
Who's yeah.
then you make plans alone and you do things alone. But you're forgetting that I'm the one who's doing it. You just there helping me. It's always about me. Client center. It's always about me,
Yeah.
not about you. It's about me. You know what you can help me to find my goal. Bring that thing in to help me. You know, like give me a feed. Oh, he's getting slow. Give him chocolate. He's getting slow. Give him Red Bull. He's getting. So you know what to give me to make me boost up because you have the experience, you have other information in your head. I don't know, but let me get it. But if you do alone, then I'm just responding. And soon the examiner will feel I'm just a person who's just responding to you. I'm not learning anything. You lose numbers. You're saying something, I'm doing it. You're saying something, I'm doing it. Then I'm a robot. You controlling my lesson, not me.
Same scenario if you apply on the speed, how would you kind of agree on a plan where he remembers that the speed limit is whatever the speed limit is for that road,
Yeah.
not driving too slow or too fast.
Yeah. So make agreement. This time I will tell you what's the speed limit. Next time I want you to tell me what's the speed limit. Plan. Oh,
Agreeing and
yeah. Then what's going to happen? Students start going to be active more. Oh, he's going to ask me. He's going to ask me. He's going to ask me. Because you said one time I'm taking a responsibility to tell you. Second time I'm removing the responsibility. You will do it. But if you're going to keep it, then you're going to keep telling me. So that means same like when you hold the cycle from the back for the child. One day you have to leave it.
Yeah, to let them ride it.
They will feel it. They're riding very nicely until you're holding it, and they get more like what do you call it, overconfidence. And soon you leave it, they can't do it. But some places you leave it, you grab it, you leave it without even telling them. Sometimes to the child, sometimes you don't tell them I'm leaving it. They feel you are holding it, and they believe on you as a confidence, and they do exactly what they're doing. They don't know you holding or not, but you know you are not even holding. You're just keeping the hand like that. Soon they do the mistake, I will hold them. But sometimes you don't hold it and they do it. And that's all you tell them, oh, you was driving about 1 mile and I was not holding. Oh, are you not? I thought you holding me. No, you got a good experience ability. I take away my help. Oh, I didn't even notice it. That's the main purpose. We keep teaching you in a way that one time you also don't notice, you just doing it. And that's what the examiner said. Let them do it because you're making them for the lifetime.
Yeah.
If they know you're gonna do it, they will never do it alone. So anytime your responsibility is changing over, tell me. Make sure I know you taking 50%, he's taking 50%, or you doing 60, he's doing 40, you doing 30, he's doing whatever. I need 100%. I don't care who do the work. As sitting at the back as examiner, I don't care who's doing the work. I want the car moving out of the risk. Whoever taking the responsibility, take it. I don't care. You take 100%, you take 50%, whatever. Tell me. But on the table is 100%. If you're going there, I don't know who's doing what. I'm already in the risk. You're approaching the cycle, you're approaching the junction, you're approaching the roundabout, you're approaching to the lorry or something, meeting traffic situation, Lord. Nobody tell me what's happening. I'm already in the risk. Because until you don't go there, is a surprise. I don't know. But if you clear me, I'm happy. You're approaching the meeting traffic, you've never done this before, you don't have any experience and ability. So what you do, you listen to me, follow the instructions, and act step by step. Okay? Now look at the back mirror, come the car, slow down, feel like it is stopping. Just do the brake, clutch down, brake, and stop. Okay? Just stay here, hold your handbrake, don't let the car move. Alright? Watch this guy's doing. When he move, we're going to move up like angle now. Okay? So use his old lesson, which he have the ability and experience, to tell him which step we are doing. We are just stopping as normal. So check mirror and signal and brake and stop. Right? Sometimes you don't have to say into clutch down and brake because you know how to stop. Because you got the experience of stopping. Because you already do so many things now. I already see you know how to stop. So why are you wasting your time telling him how to stop? You don't know meeting time. That part you take over. Rest you just tell him what he's doing. Give him a small chunks. But don't tell me, clutch down, do this. I know why you telling me this. You just say him as a responsibility. You know how to do other things. Meeting traffic you didn't done. Someone will tell you where to stop. You just stop where I'm telling you. We let them get, but then I will tell you how much training you do it, and then we pass over with the night system, and that will be over. Okay, yeah, so I will follow you like this. That's done. Because this is not the topic today, then leave it. But if the thing going to come on the way, how I know what you're going to do? This is one of the major mistake. Responsibility, they think they, oh, they said in the beginning, then they don't do it. Anytime, anywhere, all the time. New agreement, new lesson, new goal, new agreement, new responsibility. Cycle, new lesson, new agreement, new responsibility. Lorry, new agreement, new meeting traffic, new this one. Ambulance, new agreement, new responsibility. And keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it, keep doing it. Right? The next one. So now it's clear. If you can give Gully this direction, just give them. Maybe they know how to keep them information in the short memory. Just tell them. If they don't do it, repeat it. But don't wait for it to come to the junction. You can tell them like that. Keep going straight. When you will see the BP petrol pump, then after that we're gonna take the left turn. So, oh, I can see the BP petrol. Can you see the BP petrol pump now? Yeah, I can see it's coming up. Good. Do you remember we said yes? Left after the turn, after the bump. Yes, good. You don't have to go all the way there. Then you say, now I want you to take the next towards the left. Oh, not that one. Yeah? Or don't signal is a petrol pump signal after the. But if you already made the picture in their mind, the student is already searching for the BP petrol pump. That means he is taking a long time to make a plan. When you tell him in the last minutes, he get less time to make a plan. When he make less time, the chances of mistakes are more. Then you have to do more work. Grab the wheel, oh, you done the mistake. I normally feel only the emergency is the thing where you cannot control. Right? The real emergency. The real emergency is the only thing which you cannot control, but still, if you think as an advanced driver, emergency is the factor which you are not concentrating. Maybe your car is not good, maybe you are not good, maybe your driver is not good, you're concentrating not good. So there's nothing is an emergency. Otherwise, other people are involving you. But if you're still anticipating about the problem, again there is no emergency. Or is a one way. But still there one guy can come one way. I'm anticipating the problem already. Still is not emergency to me. Because I'm already expecting somebody still can come. There's always one guy who can come. So I'm still there's no emergency. So if there's no emergency, then you can always talk about in advance. Then how come student do the mistake then? So there's no mistake student do suddenly. There's always a mistake, you not picking it. He's doing it somewhere. You know, it's happening, it's building up. So there's no mistake ever the student do last minute. Unless they're very actor and they show they never do it, suddenly they do. That you can say, but if you talk about anticipation, you should know he will able to do it. If you know that student experience and ability, you still know he's going to do it one point. So there's no surprise. In driving, there's no surprise. Everything is there. Okay? So tell them early, save yourself a time, you're always in a better position. Right? Always. Clear means they already have the wordings there in the government website. They say talk in the same style as the examiner talk, which is a standard by the DVSA. Just give them same one. Don't tell them in a different way one day, different style in another day, different style to one student, different style to the other student. Keep one for everybody. Or if you're not sure, just to say the way they Tom said, simple. Because that's maybe they're gonna use it for the future as a Google and then you do it the same way. Okay? So this one you can take 3 number easily. Easily. This number should not go less ever. It's something which is nothing to do with on the road. Okay? The next one. Again, your characteristic. The trainer is aware of the surrounding the pupil action. Same like north, south, east, west,
The 26-meter.
or
Thing.
surround
Yeah.
the circle.
Yeah.
Hazard can be anywhere, not just front. So if you know your surrounding 360 degree early as possible, then after you do the surrounding, you need to look on the pupil actions. Then start asking, can you do that hazard? Which what I can see, can you see? Yes. How are you going to do it? Right? While he is doing one thing, there can be other things developing. The another will be developing. You're talking about the front, the back is developing. Talking about the right, left is developing. Then you need to read their faces, head to toe, and see, okay, can you do that one? Then you know this student don't have the ability and experience to deal all things together. This is where you come back to the line number one again. You do that part, I do that part. You do this one, then we do this together. Let's do this together, and then this you do alone. Because two things happening at the same time. Let's overtake the cycle, and then traffic light we do it together. So share it, make a deal, make an agreement again, and make things easy, simple. Dealing one thing, there's always other things happening. If you talk about the same, we said 1 minute, 1 minute. If one thing is happening in 1 minute, there's definitely other thing happening in the next 1 minute. Soon you done that one, talk about the other one and continue. So there's no there's no relaxed time and sleep time. You know what's happening now? This early test dates. they, they keep finding early test date while teaching the lessons. They're worried about this finding that oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They're not watching the surroundings, people actions.
Driving instructors.
It's common.
They don't know.
How many times you know, I know, how many times we see people, I'm passing to somebody a car, and instructor is not looking at me, he's looking somewhere else.
It's too busy.
Or they're looking down.
Yeah, he's looking down. What can be in his hand? If all the time if I look this instructor down, looking on the laps, what I expect, what will be on the laps?
Yeah,
Because they don't even notice me going. So that means they are not know from their surrounding. If my student do something wrong, they're not ready. Why? They assuming because I'm there to control my student, nothing going to be wrong. And if I am also looking down, he's also looking down. My student and his student both have no experience and ability. Little can crash us up because I'm assuming he will do it. He's assuming I will do it,
Yeah.
and that way there is no agreement. There is no like a responsibility, and that way we just taking a risk, and
Yeah.
that is where they say risk, right? So that is where they say called risk. So not at any time, if something happens, that's what happens. You must miss something. You must miss something in your surrounding which might can put you in the risk. If you would have talked about it, you cover the risk, right? In that way, I feel safe sitting at the back. But if I see something, hmm, and then you are doing something else, I feel risk. And when I feel risk, risk is there. Very common example. You guys are driving sometimes straight. You are talking about something coming on the front, and you're dealing it very nicely, right? You are worried about on the roundabout finding the gap. If somebody comes, if the, I'm ready to stop him, not to let you go on the roundabout, right? At the same time, I'm looking at the back. This guy is tailgating, and your student is approaching too fast to the roundabout. What I'm thinking is, if this guy is approaching too fast, he's gonna do the last minute break. He's not gonna look on the back mirror, and this guy at the back gonna hit me, and I'm the one who's sitting at the back. I'm worried about him more than worried about the front. And you deal very nicely to the front, but never talk about the back. But I feel risk. If I feel risk, risk is there. You did not cover. If you say, okay, we're approaching to the roundabout, reduce your speed, you're approaching too faster, come on, reduce your speed, come into a lower gear, come down, slow, look on the right, but don't forget about the guys at the back, do it nicely. If you said that word, I feel safe. You prove me your eyes are everywhere. Maybe you don't do it. Maybe you don't do it. But the way you said it, I feel relaxed. You prove me you're talking about the front, and you know there's a guard case they give you at the back. So the way you're talking about your student, you engaging him front and back, not talking about the front only, forgetting about the back. Make sure when you move up, there's a cycle on your left. Oh, oh yeah, it is right. Yep. He's right, there's a cycle on the left. So he's engaging his student, his attention surrounding of the car, not the front. And that's one of the common mistake. Everyone talk about the front. And the majority of the time, they talk about the other thing than when they are cruising. You know, like when everything is going smooth, relaxed, nothing happening. Then they talk about the back, the right, the left. But when something happening on the front, they forget about all 3 points and they talk about like that. They always talk about here and they talk about this three because they're too busy on doing this, looking right side of the roundabout. Okay, if you're dealing the right side of the roundabout, do I get disappear somewhere? I'm still a risk for you guys. I'm a cyclist. I'm a motorbike. I'm a lorry behind you. You still got the risk from surrounding, so you're dealing the front only. Deal the front, but don't forget about the other one. And I'm the one who can see this more clearly than you because I'm sitting at the back. For me to look back and here and there is more easy than you because you are more engaged with student. You are double work. You are more engaged. But when they talk about surrounding, it's simple word. Surrounding 360 degree. And that's a 360 degree.
So in that scenario you mentioned, approaching a roundabout, let's say that was part of independent driving.
Yeah.
That was not a goal.
Yeah.
So in that scenario, would you tell them straight away, slow down, we're approaching the roundabout, your speed is too fast, or would you Q&A them and
That's where again, who gonna choose the talk through? Who's gonna choose the Q&A? First line number this.
so if it's not, so if it's independent, but then they kind of going
No,
in
but
too
how
fast.
how you decide is he's going to be drive independent? First you have to check his ability and experience. Then you decide is he's going to do this independent. Otherwise you're choosing him to do independent without knowing his experience and ability.
Yeah, but he was driving, let's say he's driving fine, and our goal is dual carriageway.
So you assume he will do
No, he's doing it right 3 times.
it. Then he's
Both
got ability.
times.
Then
Yes,
he's
he's
then
got
he's
the
a proof.
ability. Yeah.
Yeah. So then
So
you can say
both
that
times.
way. Then you can say that way because he done 3 times.
Yeah.
That is why I know he got ability to do the next time also.
Yeah. But then he's approaching too fast though the next time.
Yeah. So that means the first 3 times.
What I use is I use a bubble.
Yeah.
So if you go in your car, tell the student, this is your bubble.
Yeah, that's your
If
360.
anything penetrates into your bubble, then you got a problem.
Yeah. I mean he's entering in your
Regardless if you've got parked cars,
yeah, somebody entering inside your things, yeah.
anything overtaking you on the right side,
Yeah.
if it's penetrating into your bubble, that's a risk.
Yeah. So that's exactly the same thing. And that's where the student do the mistake. Because sometimes in the lesson it looks easy, but when actually we in the pressure of the test, we forget. We know these things. We all know these things. You as a student, everyone know these things. But what happened? On the test day, they forget. And I'm telling you the tip again, when you're cruising and driving straight on the road without any problem, you easily will do this. But soon you're dealing with some other hazard, your time will spend on one hazard and you forget about the other hazard. Because your mind go there more and you forget about the other ones. And if I see other things there, I say now the time comes where sometime in your feedbacks of people when they get failed, whenever you get the feedback people get failed, this is the word is used more. Yes. You forget about the priority. You are talking about this. Who is the main one? Who's gonna cause you
More danger.
more danger, impact? If the lorry tailgating me and the driver did not look back and do the last minute break, we have no chance to survive the impact. So I priority wise, I'm going to talk about this one because big picture, what I can see, we will not survive if that go hit. So I have to make sure looking back and giving a nice break. So approaching speed will be my more priority, and I can help him here. I can say him, I want you to do nice braking at the back, approach nice and slow because we got this one at the back. We don't want any race this one, and that I will help you do together. So if I'm taking your concentration to look on the back, then who's going to take concentration to the front? Then I share the responsibility. I said, You pay attention here and come nice and slowly, and I take care of other things. Oh yes, make agreement. So you do this work because on the priority we are more risk. This guy on your left, we just need to keep an eye on him. He's riding his lane. So I don't need to do anything. I just need to keep an eye. The cars are coming from the right, right? If they don't come, we miss the chance. What will happen if we miss the chance? We take the second chance. In normal days, on the roundabout, if the student don't find the gap first time, we look for the second one. Then we go. So what's gonna happen then? Nothing. So less risk. I can handle that left side and front side. Then right, I don't see anybody, so we are safe from the right. So then I prioritize this person more because I know if the lorry gonna hit me from the back because the way he's approaching, last minute break, we cannot problem. And I'm the one who's sitting at the back. So it's gonna crash from the back first. I'm not gonna let you spare on your marks if you put me in the risk. You can't prioritize your danger. Then who's gonna sit in the future with the student next time? It's children. Because I mean, you was thinking about that one more, not that one. You did not look on your surrounding properly. I'll lose your numbers. Maybe nothing happened. That's your luck. But you did not prove me that time 360 degree. How you prove me? If you talk about 360 degree, you prove me you're talking about 360 degree. And you talk about where is the more risk. And you can tell the student make agreement. We can find more risk on that place now. All right, that's it. And then you say, okay, because I'm diverting your mind on that place, I take responsibility of the other places. Your responsibility sharing now. And you made the agreement, and he said, yeah, I understand. You understand? Yes, I understand. You take care here, I take care of everything. Yeah, we're doing the work together. And then we safely give the judge. I feel safe. Responsibility, risk management. So that's called management. As you said, as a manager, you always work together. That's why they call management. You doing this management. How are you going to work together as a team? That's we call a management. As your civil job, that's what we do. Management. So management means you work together. That's managed. And who is managed? You are managed. So that's why you're a manager. You are managing everyone. And how are you managing? Because you're giving everyone a task. You do this. You do that. Okay. When you do this, you report that person. Is a management. This is why they come under management. Okay. So next one, physical intervene, timely and appropriate. Come back again. Everything is happening on the road. Is the you who's not watching it. If you're doing your third line easily, watching the surrounding and people action, I don't think you need to intervene. Sometimes you see my car or other people's car, nobody touched the brakes ever. Why? They don't need it. Why they don't need it? Because they're always watching their surroundings and they're always talking about the risk management all the time. They never come to the situation where they ever have to use it. And if they ever have to do something, then what they do, they just know this person is not doing independently, he is not doing it properly. When I ask him, he's giving me the wrong answer. Okay, I don't want to give him the right answer straight away. I want him to run his mind. I prompt him. Oh, if you can't do it, we're getting very close to the hazard now. I take over. I talk through, right? And then I share the responsibility again and make the new agreement. I let the guy know you can't do this, you're not doing it. You're bringing them back on the talk through and you follow my instruction. We do it together. When we finish, we pull over, we discuss why we have to change your level. Certainly, because we agreed to do this and on the way I have to change it. If I change it, I need to know, you need to know why we change it. And are we going back to that level or are you going to keep it that level? We have to talk about it now. If you bring me down from here to here, then tell me, are you going to take me back on the same one or are we changing for a whole lesson? No, only for that topic, only for that scenario, only for that cyclist, only for that junction, or for everything. Or you just going to give me in the dark place and just surprise for me, I don't know. I thought you were going to tell me, you thought he's going to do it. If I get the chance to see that they don't know, one of the common mistake recently, it was somebody a lesson. And the student asked the instructor said to the student, "Oh, I want you to go there as well." And they were like, "Where do you want me to go? Do you want me to go?" That's a clear indication they don't understand each other where they're going. He's instructor thought the way I said to the student, he understands and he will do it. And the way he said, he still don't know. When I asked the instructor, he said he normally asks me before he gonna say. He don't even wait for me to say. I said that you don't pick his learning style. That means he's a person who want to know early. So he can plan early to do things early, but you trying to leave it for a last minute. That's why he every time asks you, "Oh, where I'm going from the roundabout?" Before you was thinking to tell him, he already asking you in advance. So that means he want to make more plan early. His timing is early than your timing. You're trying to tell him later, so that's a hint. You guys don't understand each other. That means you are just sharing responsibility. You're not telling me in a good time. Or if one time he asks you, that is a hint for you. That is what you want to know next time. If one time he asks you like this, next time take it as a hint and tell him more early. If he still asks you, then we still change your time, tell him more early. And there will be a time or stage come where you don't have to tell him, oh sorry, he's not going to ask you, you always ahead of him. So that means the student is, as ability and experience, going more ahead of you than you. He's more, watching more early around what is coming and he's worried where he's going. And you still not telling him where he's going. That means it's not working. That's not working. So I'll lose your numbers. So if any words comes from the student mind or from his mouth, that's the proof for me. So that's again that means you're not giving me enough direction in a good time what he wants. So I'll lose your numbers. So listening to the other person and not finding the hint, that's again a mistake. That's what happened to that guy. So I told him, you're doing everything all right. You it looks okay, but you're not getting what he's telling you. He gave you the hint. Okay? So let's say now you have to do the interview. Yeah? How you can save yourself if you do this work. Let's say if you anything happen and you have to do the interview. Timely and appropriate. Sometimes instructors like to use the break straight away and they never choose the words to control them. If it was possible to control by the word, then it's not appropriate to do the breaks then. Somebody going on a junction. Look, what happened? Can't you see the car coming? Yeah, he was late. I was going. No, you was not doing it. I can see that argument is going in the lesson straight away. Student not agree with your action. Or you drop his confidence straight away by using the brake. So what happened then? Tell me when you think it's safe. Oh, I think it's safe. No, don't go. It's not safe. You can control the same thing with the wording. But you use this style. Student is happy with this style. You use this style. So that is not appropriate then. You did timely in both of the way, both style, both ways timely. But it's not appropriate. But how you decide is appropriate. Again, go back. Student ability and experience. You need to know your student what works best for him according to his ability. Or if you're reaching the junction, can't you ask him in advance when you how you know it's safe to go? Oh, I think when he's all right. No. That's not right. Let's do it together. You straight away taking the responsibility. Agree. Oh, no. You give me the wrong answer. You're not taking the full responsibility. We sharing it. You agree? Yes, I'm agree. Let's do it together. Because you heard him saying something wrong. You take over. That is also called intervene. But this time intervene is just the wording. And you can bring the time back. So let's say this is a junction, right? You want to turn left and you're thinking of doing the brake here, not let him do it. You can bring the time back and then talk about it and stop him. Oh no, you can't You tell him, that's not the way. Let's do it together. He was taking 100% responsibility. You decided to change over to 50-50, and you guys doing it together, and you doing it safely. But what happened majority of the time? You go there, you assume he will do okay. Soon he about to go, you think he's doing it wrong, you break. Then examiner will say, yeah, it was a timely stop to save the hazard. Wasn't absolutely. You can handle this situation easily beforehand with your words by asking him, changing the responsibility, managing the risks. Everything you can done it in advance. Why you left it last minute? I give you the number, but not three. You done the job, but not the way it should be done. So I give you one or two, but not three. I cannot give you zero because you done the job, but not the way. So the way means not three. Sometimes there is enough to pass, but you still have the chance. When we say to the students, oh, is this my serious mistake or minor mistake? Oh, it's minor. Oh, that is okay. No, we say the same thing. Okay, it looks okay now, but it will shift to the serious in the future. Or if you keep doing it, it becomes serious also. So if you want to pass the test, don't even assume you have 15 minor mistakes to pass. Feel like you're not allowed to do any mistake. And every challenge, take it in a way that you don't do anything. If you don't do the minor, you will not do the serious. Okay? So timely and appropriate is the main word. And then again, verbally is much better than physically. Anything you can control, unless it's the last minute. Then just do the break. But if the examiner thinks that there was a chance for you to do verbal and you still want to do the break, then mean you was not doing these jobs in advance properly. One by one. If you done it, verbal or physical, again go back to the other level. If your student have the ability and experience that he don't need to stop and adopt the lesson and continue, and you can still can give him sufficient feedback on the way, or you have to stop the car, have to show him the books again, explain him again, take you back to the location again, practice again, everything again, because you don't have the ability and experience. And you think is have to adopt the lesson. We cannot continue to the main goal now. Then you decide. But you have to keep the back picture in your mind. What best suit to that guy now at that time? Otherwise, you're still doing it wrong. He got the ability to do it. You're wasting his time. No, 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 no. Pull over. Okay. See that picture again. No, no. Do you know what we have done here? 10 minutes is good. Because you think he don't have the ability to listen to you while on the move. So that's why you're dropping his level down, but actually he can do it. Or you underestimate him, you think, oh, he can do it, I don't need to stop, but I lost my confidence after you break me. You did not read my face or my body language, you did not figure out that I'm not able to do it now. So that means stopping is more important for me now, after looking to me. There is no fixed thing. There's no fixed thing. Nobody is same. No student is same. Nobody will behave same. So I cannot tell you exactly what you will do because that's on the time you will decide. But you just keep that in mind, experience and ability. You know me, let's say you know me. If I do the mistake, you know my level of driving. You know I don't need to stop the Qasim and tell him, look on the picture. You say, keep driving and don't do it next time. We will do it together. We help together. And now slowly, slowly I will go away from the help. Because you know me. So you know my experience and ability. That's why you decided I'm not going to stop casting 10 minutes and wasting them. But same way, you should know your student beforehand. What kind of person is this? Do you need to stop the car to go for sufficient or not? And when they say sufficient, is there any level or limit? No. There's no level or limit. Okay? So I'm just going through with the time, but are you okay to stay extra here?
Yeah.
Because we started half. Yeah, yeah, somewhere. Yes.
What?
Yeah,
There's some in the window, I think.
So I started half an hour late as well. That's why. So sufficient feedback. There is no fixed time. If I need 10 minutes, that is not sufficient. If I have my ability and experience, I need 5 minutes, that is sufficient. So there is no limit of sufficient feedback. Until the student don't respond, he understands. And there is a less chances he will do it again. And he fully understands and he is happy to take the responsibility next time without any risk or without your help. Or if you're helping each other, then you make agreement again what level of help and how many percentage. Then it's called sufficient. So there is no limit of sufficient. Where the problem will come now? Any idea? When people stop the car,
When the
I need to
student-
move again. I need to move
Yeah,
again.
for the
I cannot
students
take
is-
long. I
I know.
cannot stay here talking all day about this problem. I have to move. I have to move. And what they do? They don't give sufficient feedback, and they're worried about moving.
Finishing in time.
Client center. If I need 3 minutes, you need to give me 3 minutes. If I'm, let's say, my ability and experience as a student, I require 3 minutes to understand. I need 3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes. If I'm got ability and experience, I understand in 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. But after you finish your sufficient feedback, cross check. Do you understand? Do you understand? Let him make that like a checklist and say yes. That means it's sufficient. If you want to ask him, cross check him. What I said, can you repeat it? Yeah, I repeat you. Okay, he understands. So that's a surety. That's another way you can prove he understands because you repeat everything what you said. He did not miss anything you said. So that means it's a surety. And then you made a new agreement from there now. How are you going to do next time? With my help or you do it, which percentage, what you do, what you do, what you do, how are you going to do it? Make an agreement before you move on. So that's called your sufficient feedback to understand the potential critical incident. So that means that critical incident don't supposed to happen again. If it's going to happen, who will deal it? You or me. If you, how much percentage? Fully or some or some? So how people lose the number? Same thing. Rushing to go. They're worried about their time to rush to go. They don't see the student experience. You need more time to understand what happened or how come. Maybe you think is a risk because you think as a bigger picture. He will go, somebody come. You may be thinking that, let's say, bus. You are taking a race, motorbike is going like that. That is why you stop. And I say, why you stop me? The bus was at the bus stop. So until he stop, I can go. Another guy is a block until he don't move. So my perspective of thinking is not even a risk. I'm not even agree when you brake for me because there is no motorbike. But you are thinking there may be somebody coming from the back. If he go, he's taking a risk. So that's why I stopped you. But because nothing happened, according to my point of view as a student, I don't think even it's a risk. You stopped me wrongly. I'm not even agree with you. So you have to understand that you both have to come on the same level to understand the scenario. Even you have to come out with a pen and paper to explain him why I stopped you, what you was thinking. Find out first this information. Oh, I was thinking that's what happened. This is where you go that point now. So let's while you're talking this is the best time you can use that now. That's three core competencies. You first you pick the fault. What they say. You see it, you say it, you sort it. Yeah? Like that. Yeah? So first of all, if you're watching your surroundings and people action, I don't think at any time you can miss any fault. And if he's doing a fault, so same like that. If he's doing a fault, maybe you think their fault is this much today. But take it as an ice ball again. If you leave it, it rolls. It rolls, it rolls, it rolls, it rolls, it rolls. And one day he will hit his car and he die. because one day you thought it's small mistake. So mistake is a mistake. Yeah, don't leave it. Maybe you have to spend less time talking on it and continue your main goal, but don't leave it. I see you, Kasim, standing a little bit very close to the curve this time. Oh, because the road is narrow. Oh, that's the right point. So that's why you come more closer because you thought it's more severe. Good. And what you do with next time if the road is bigger? I try, but if I go, I still can feel like in the future, ambulance, police, fire brigade in the night time can pass me. That's what I always think before I park up. Good point. If he's not saying this, you say this. So you think that way when you're thinking of parking. When I say pull up on the left side, that's how you think of the future. Who will pass when I leave the car and go in the house? Who will go from here? From like 24 hours. Think 24 hours, midnight, 3 o'clock a.m. Think about everybody. Then you think how I park. You can say that students say, I'm parking okay. Yes, this time it looks okay, but not if you leave it like that. So any mistake, just even you do a tiny touch, just say it. Simply same thing. Just say it. Don't change the lesson, don't do anything, but prove me for you is a mistake, and if you don't do it, you roll up. So you're still taking a risk then. And if they do the mistake, the next thing you do, ask me why I done the mistake. First check my story, which we said the bus one. First check my story. I was thinking I can go, bus is waiting here. Right? Check my story first. Check my thinking first. Then correct it. And if you find my thinking, this is the way you will find my goal and need. Or you do the filling the blanks. Okay, you tell me this, very good, but something is missing. Let me correct that to bring a full picture. But don't go for your answers. One of the common mistake, straight away going for answer. You done that? Why? Can you make sure you don't do next time? Yes. Just go for a practice. Well done. Okay. This we call a short memory. You sort him for today. You see it today. You say it today. You sort it today. Tomorrow he will do again. Or after he passed, after 1 year, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, he will do again. One time he will forget. So when you when you see it sorted and you don't want to do it, bring something for lifetime. And this is where you do the mistakes again when you forget. You dealing the full license holder sometime experience or sometime new in your test, right? So that means for the lifetime. You teach them for the lifetimes. Always. Lifetime. How? Let's say if you're a beginner, hardly train, then full license, and he need a lesson again. So that means when he was here or here or here, somebody was not doing his job properly. If everyone was doing their job properly over here, how come he come back again then with the same problem? Forgetting habit. Okay. Then you analyze my problem first. If I know this, I already passed, I got the lesson. How come I'm doing this again? And find the problem behind. When you find the problem behind, then you go for the remedy and solution, and then you go for the practice. But instructors spend less time here. Everyone is very good in picking fault. Everyone. You done this, you done that, everyone. So everyone is good in that. Whether they don't talk, that's a problem. When they talk, they jump this part quickly to that part. And they still want to move the card straight up. So, you done the job. but not in a good level. If I divide your numbers, if I divide your numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, yeah, 0%, 33, 33, 33.3, yeah, like that. So now you are on 100%. Then I give you three numbers. Now be honest, everyone do the job. Nobody is that stupid to go the this thing, and if they're doing the work from a long time, go without practice and don't do it. But we all are in the habit of doing half the work. We even pick the fault, we do this, we do that, but not full level. That is why we always come with 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 1 like that. And when the total finish is 20 is like that. And you say, no, I stopped the car, I asked him, I done this, I done that. Yes, I'm also agree, you done everything. Halfway. You know what they said, when you start the thing, something, some job, complete it. Everyone do this. Not on any single sheet so far, you will see zero. 1, 2, 1, 2 like that. Because they do. Everyone has the eyes, they know what they need to do. But they leave it halfway. And that halfway give you the less numbers. Because they don't worry about it. They just say, you done the work, this is they call it a evidence. So if you done the work, but one level. This level, I will keep giving you the number. When I take a total, sometimes it's 28, sometimes 29, 26, 25. You all fall down in numbers 20 and you get less number. Same jobs, same thing. You done in part 2 and sorry in part 3 and standard. Exactly the same work. No change. Just extra level increase the number. Same work. I'm 100% sure you did not close your eyes while you do that lesson. So that means you was watching. But maybe you was not watching 100%. Yeah? You was giving good direction, but not maybe everywhere. Right? So whenever it's not 100%, that's how you lose the numbers. Okay? So make sure when you start doing something, do it sufficient all the time, crazy. So let's come to the last one. So that's not going to spend much time, 30 minutes for that. That's again very simple places. Then we come to that starting and ending. Then we can stay up till 6 o'clock. Yeah. Don't worry. So teaching and learning strategies, the last one. So again, characteristics, nothing to do with your lesson. Do it. Teaching style suited to the pupil learning style and ability. Again, as I said before, you don't know. Sometimes they look very perfect guy. You know when they say abnormality, abnormalities, they're not physically. You can see them. The same thing. You don't know. Oh, look like intelligent, but maybe he's dumb. Intelligent to do PhD, but dumb in the driving, right? Maybe dumb in their life, intelligent in driving. It happens so many times.
Yeah, I could do those.
Yeah, sometimes you think he's performing well. Last time I got the guy, and I was just like, he looked like a late learner. He passed first attempt. Why? I tell him why you done it because he scheduled it. He made a good lesson plan. He made a good lesson structure. He adjusted his diary, the timing, which suits him when he's more relaxed to come on his day off. After he don't want to take a lesson morning, he want to sleep first. So he planned because that's working for him. He know what's working for him. But over here they say, don't just impose your learning or teaching to the student in the same style, and that's the mistake. We teach same style because that's my style. That's what everyone say on the group sometimes. That's how I teach. If somebody say me this, that is how I teach to that student, that make more sense. If the wording is already there when they say this in the group, that's how I teach. That means he teach in the same style. Okay? So same thing. Let's say you are a teacher, right? In a classroom, and you got a class of 100%. how much chances you think somebody will be same? I think in my one, all 100% will be different. Everyone will be different. Even the body, the shape, the mind, the this, the this. What's going on in their mind from the back home and the house, we also don't know. But we are standing here teaching everyone in the same way, assuming everyone learning in the same way. We don't know. So that is how, if you don't ask the student how you would like to learn, he will never even able to tell you how he want to learn. Because we never ask him. We just say, okay, we're gonna do the T junction today. Okay, now look on that picture. Did you ask me I want to look picture or not? I gave you the example of that Saudi guy. He don't want to look on the picture. He want me to draw, right? So that give me the hint. The next time I'm not gonna show the picture to everybody, or maybe ask them how you want to learn. Okay, what is the choice? I can drive for you. You can copy me, or we can stand and see how other people are doing it. Let's open the YouTube and see. Or I got some apps where I can show you. Or let's draw the picture. I'll explain you. Or look at the picture. So which one? I done that way. Okay, let's do that way. Can you tell me one night before? Yeah, I can send you the link of the YouTube. Watch that video, and then when you come, you just go practice. Yeah, that works better for me. I can save time, right? But how many times we ask them? No, we just do it. Again, in the test, when we say, "Oh, you done that fault," okay, let's pull up on the left side. Okay, book out. Now look on this picture. I don't want to look on the picture. Did you ask me? No. You just impose that on me, and just as a nice gentleman, I have to, yeah, yeah. Because you did not give me a choice. That's why I did not even refuse. If you give me a choice, I can refuse. No, no, don't show me. I know what you mean. I know what I done. Can you just go and do next time? I'll show you without even looking at the picture. But you did not give me the chance. You just say, pull up. Let's see this picture. You just make a closed question. Just look at that picture. That's another mistake. So anytime, put the ball in the student place again. Ask me. I got this option. What you want? Oh, I want this way. Okay, let's do it. You clear from your minds again. Oh, so that means you are every time making your lesson according to his style. And the last one is current ability. And that thing coming back again from the lesson plan, you should know his ability, right? You know that he need to stop the car and do this one. He need to see the picture. He need to do. But you know his ability. He don't need a picture. He just want to do a game. So don't forget his ability. And that is where you lose the number. You make them like drop his confidence. What the instructor normally do? They prove them wrong. They show them they are wrong. They say that we know the driving more. You don't know. You done that. I'm the one who's gonna tell you what to do. You just impose them all the time. That's where you lose the numbers. Again, it's not your lesson, right? I know. Let's say if I done T junction wrong, and you say, "All right, what happened? All right, so how you want to do this time then?" Oh, I want to go again. Good. That what I was thinking. You got ability, so let's don't waste time to look on the people until you want to see the picture. No, 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 no. I know, fully understand about the picture. So let's go again. That's clear. Again, that brings back again what? Agreement. That is the way he want to do it. You agree together straight away. This is the lesson structure he want to do it. Let's do it again. That word, don't do anything. This is my style. But if you don't give me the opportunity, then you just the one who's telling me what to do. Then I'm not engaged with your lesson. That's your lesson. Then. You just want to teach to me like that. That's your lesson. Then where I am then. But that's my lesson. So ask me. I'm the client. I'm the person. Ask me how I want it, and not one time in the all the time. Okay, is that clear now? So keep doing it, otherwise you will. Was the people encouraged to analyze the problem and take responsibility of the learning? So same thing when you pick the fault, spend a good time. There's a full line about just this. Did you encourage them to analyze the problem, or you just gone to the remedy and problem and repeating the action again as a practice, or you encourage them to do it? How many times I see you encourage them? That's it. Or there's another way of saying encourage. I ask you some question. How I'm gonna ask you this question? If you give me the opportunity, do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Do you have any questions? Then when you encouraging me, right? Then after asking so many times, one time I say, yes, I got a question. Okay. What is your question? My question is, let's say, how you overtake the bus, right? Or how I know the bus is the safe to overtake the bus. Okay. Where you normally see the buses? Oh, when a bus stops. Okay. Do you know how many times the bus stop? Yeah, where he's sharing the road with me and where he have the extra space to do that one. Yeah, good. And how you know the bus gonna take time? If the bus just stops in front of me, so technically you are encouraging me to give the answer rather than give me the answer. And then same thing you asking them in an opposite way. What if the bus is stopped already from a long time and you coming from here? Do you think it's safe? How you know? If he's already there from a long time, maybe he's ready to move any minute. What are you looking for? I'm looking for any position going in and out, any signals, or his tire is about to get it. Yeah, yeah. What? So you talking about this and that same time, and all this talking, the student have to do it, not you, because you are encouraging the student to speak up, find his own ways. Like I said, where is the sugar? Where is the tea? Oh yeah, sorry. That means you find your own answer and you feel like, oh yeah, I just thought I will be, I'm trying to make it quicker. Like there are some people who are, who said this in the group last time. Somebody asked something and the other guy
Oh
Google,
yeah,
Google it,
yeah.
and he
Everyone's
said,
gonna Google it for you anyway.
yeah, then said that he's going to Google it. So that means they try to say that you are trying to make it easy for yourself. You don't want to do the work, so you want to throw the question, other people doing the work for you, and they give you the answer that make it easy for you. That means you will do exactly the same thing next time. Now imagine, I don't want to say it in a group, but in reality, that is supposed to be go Google, find your answer. So that means if this time we can go Google, he find the answer. Next time we forget, again go Google, find the answer. Again next time we find it. So that means every time we have a solution, which is Google. So we are not telling them what to do, we are showing the path. So that means today I can help you, in the future who's going to help you then? So you have to break that habit. Don't ask, don't make it easy. So that's where you encourage them all the time. So you analyze the problem. What will happen if you don't do this, and then you take responsibility. And then one more thing you have to remember here: if somebody asking you any question, they are not able to do this independently because something is missing. That is why they're asking you this. Imagine if you're letting them do something now alone, even after they ask you something about the topic, you're taking a risk. So again, new agreement. Because you asked me how to overtake the bus, I mean, we are a little bit weak of overtaking the bus and we don't have any ability and experience to overtake the bus. So now, when we go to this journey and see the bus, how are we going to deal with the bus then? You identify the bus and you tell me, is it parked from a long time or it just stopped? And then we share the responsibility and we work together and do it together. New agreement about the bus, particular topic. specific about that thing which he asked because he proved you don't have the knowledge or he's weak with that knowledge. New agreement again. It is solved because you shared already. So if now the bus will come, I'm sitting at the back of your lesson. I know you guys already decided in advance how you guys going to deal with that bus. So that's again goes like you are encouraging me and taking responsibility for my learning. Don't make halwa for anybody. As I said, just don't make it easy for anybody. If somebody will ask you today, they will ask you tomorrow. So let's say if I'm doing a very important work and you can read that. But you read, where is that? Why I have to tell you everybody again and again? So I decided, let's say if I'm a university manager or faculty manager, I know everyone coming with the same question every time to faculty. So that's how the faculty know there is a problem, there is a question generating with everybody. So I decided to put it as a notice board or generate the email to everyone to solve the problem. That so they don't come, they go straight away and solve the problem. So if you're not going to tell them or encourage them to analyze their problem for their responsibility or learning outcome, you technically bringing them back again. You are technically encouraging them to come back again and ask me. Come back and ask me. So do in a way, tell them once for the lifetime. So they don't ask you again unless they forget. If they forget again, new agreement. How I remind you. Until what time I remind you. Until what days I remind you. Then you come back again. Okay? What opportunities an example used to clarify the learning outcome? First, find the same topic examples on your surroundings. If you're watching a 360 degree, they must be happening. Something must be happening with the same topic. See how this guy overtaking the bus. See how this guy overtaking the cycle. See how this turning on the left. So use that opportunity as example. Or use the pen, paper, book, highway code. I've got a lot of books. Use anything. Take opportunity to use examples to help him to go for his learning outcomes. Otherwise, he will come again and again and ask you. Or direct him or refer him something so where he can keep opening it. Do you have a driving essential book with you? Okay, you know the chapter number blah blah blah, page number this, rule number this. Okay, that's where you do it. You see over here. Alright, I will buy one book for you one time and then I will give you, keep it with you all the time. Every time you forget, refer back again. What if I'm not available to give you the answer? Then this is the book will be an answer. Lifetime. If the version get old, buy the new version and do it. Keep updating system. So now I'm telling the same thing, but I'm finding the solutions for the lifetime. And I use the examples and opportunity to help you. Lifetime. Now and for the future. So always think about the lesson from now and future. Majority of the time you get one number and two number because you talk about now. Things starts now and end to the future. And always ask them any experience of the past. And that's where we forget again to ask. We just assume we don't know. If the children born here, they know how to do the crossing of the zebra crossing. Do you think zebra crossing is the first time they see in their life? No. So when we're spending the time of the zebra crossing, we're spending 10 minutes on the zebra crossing, explaining him this is a zebra crossing. Come on, ask him, maybe he know about it. He know about it from the school. Your 10 minutes can save and do something else. He know how to press the button to cross the road even as a child. So how come pedestrian crossing lesson you spending 2 hours just doing one lesson? You just have to say him the picture change to find the pedestrian crossing in the car is different the way you find out the pedestrian. That's it. Okay. So that's why you must use a lot of examples from their present, from the past, and talk about the future as in make examples and clear the outcome. Everyone knows something, I believe. Everyone knows something. It's you have to find out how they know. Okay? technical information, the next one. Anything coming out of your mind, sorry, from your mind, that's a technical information. If you don't know, use the books. Use the highway code books, essential, driving essential. Use the book if you don't know. Don't say something wrong. Don't say, oh, if you drive on 30 miles, you have to keep the distance of 120 meters, or when it's 123 meters. Don't use these kind of terminology if you don't know. Don't use it. Don't say anything which you also not know. Just use the books. Tell them where you're finding this information so they can find the information next time. But again, with your numbers, once you start it, you say technical information given comprehensive, which is again full 100%, then accurate and appropriate. Again, book can help you to become accurate as well. So to give them 100% accurate information. Once you start, so let's say you starting about rule number 123, and it's a full page of that book. Don't make yourself easy to say read these two lines and then things is done. If you can't read it, make a summary, give them as a summary one picture, tell them where they can find that rule, which book, which page, whatever, and then let them take responsibility to read it again and again until they remember by heart. So that means you are encouraging them to analyze their own problem and do it again and again. Or otherwise say, I will page the print for you. We're going to read it again every lesson, unless you're telling me this by heart. So that's the solution. So you encourage them to do it. So that means they will not forget and you don't have to tell them again and again. So examiner want to see these kind of things. What effort you have done it to do this in your lesson, which can be anything. There's no fixed thing. Anything. Where is the effort? I just need a proof of effort. Oh yeah, I'm gonna print out for you and I will give you everybody. And I'm gonna ask you again and again until you remember. That's your effort. That's a solution for you, the student ability. And that one day he will remember. And if the student really don't want to read it again and again, believe me, he will try to remember next day and will come and show you to take it away from you because otherwise he's gonna waste time. And he don't want to waste time. So he is taking responsibility to learn in a day one, so you don't repeat this again and again. So you transfer the responsibility straight away to him to take his learning, not you again and again to do. Prove me somehow. So there's no fixed thing about it. But there must be something you can do in a lesson to prove me. This is why books and reference book always keep in the car, and you should know how to open it straight away, which page, which number, which rule. And this is the best way to give the information when you stop and talk about the fault, because that way you always talk about correct. I think somebody was talking about the e-stop. Yeah? He said you don't check the mirrors before the e-stop, blah 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 blah. Alright, close the book, go on. Nothing talk about the skidding.
Yeah, just for question, how much is it to take a driving lesson?
Auto manual?
How much is it to take a driving lesson?
Auto or manual?
Automatic or manual path?
Auto is 40, manual is 35.
You take CLBTs as well for motorbike.
No, not for the bikes, only cars. Only cars.
For manual 35.
Yeah.
And for automatic 40.
Barabar.
Right, cheers.
Thank you. So he started with the information. So his information was all right. Don't check the mirror before the brake. You should know what's happening behind you in your surroundings. You forget about the main part. Skid. Because they was not going to skid on the day. Weather was good. So he never talked about the future part of the topic. So if you start teaching somebody a topic, whether it's happening today or not, you're talking about the future stuff, then you close the chapter and say, I give you full information, 100% information. And that's where you lose the number. He started, he never say anything. They say, yeah, you started, but you did not finish with the main part. So that means if this guy going to do the emergency ever in the future and he don't know about the speeding ever, risk is there. Not today, one time in the life, and then he is driving a small car, bigger car, lorry, is risky getting bigger and bigger. So you main part you missed. So you lose the number. Because you done something, I give you one number. So this is why whenever you start, use the books because maybe you forget something to say, but maybe reading in the books that remind you. Or even you open your normal books and you say, oh yeah, I cover everything. Because if it's written everything, you say them I cover everything. That means you done with all informations. And in the last, again, any questions? No. Should we continue? Yes. If it happens, you will take responsibility to do the next time if it happens, or will we need, or no, I will do. Then you continue. So still doing the old thing. New goal is, do you need a resourcement to be shared? You do it, I do it. If it happens on the road, something like that, who do it? You do it. Okay, done. Then you go ahead. And just few questions will sort out a lot of problems. Now, people was given appropriate and timely feedback during the session. Don't forget to praise them when they do something good. If you question them something, they give you the answer. Tell them they give you the right answer. If you pick their fault and you correct that fault, analyze the fault, you go in the practice, they show you nicely, praise them. But praise them now, when they're done it, not later. Otherwise, they don't know which one you're talking about. Okay? But don't forget that part because that encourages them to learn more, to gain the confidence. Okay? So keep doing it all the time when you feel it. Timely and appropriate. Appropriate means stay in the topic. Don't flash them for no reason. Like, oh, you're gonna pass in your flashing numbers. It looks like you will pass first. Don't give them anything like that, which is not physically true or whatever. Yeah. So appropriate to the topic and timely, so they know what they done it. Because if I done one left turn wrong, you and after that you teach me, and I done another left turn again right, I just done it to show you, to prove I'm doing good, and I'm actually waiting for you to say me, well done. If you don't say me, I will feel like, oh, you don't bother to say me anything. Why I'm giving so much effort to prove it? I'm gonna lose myself because you're not showing me that. You done it very well this time. Can you keep it next time as well, please? Yes. So that means whatever I done okay. I can keep that habit. If not, this is the time to correct me again. Right or wrong. Encourage the students. Pupil query followed by the answer. So encourage them any question, right? And then answer them. But go with the same logic. Don't go direct to the answer. First find out when somebody gives you the question, it's like a fault. But they are saving themselves from the fault. This is why they are trying to answer a question you in advance. So go with the same logic. If it's if they're not doing the fault, I normally say when they do the fault, I mean there was a question in their mind which they don't want to ask and they end up doing the fault. So if that means if they're doing the question, they're saving them from the fault, the next step will be same. Analyze. What do you think? How come that thing came in your mind? What was the missing point? Up till what stage you know? Let's say if they're talking about MSPSL dealing the okay, you know this, you know that, you know that. Okay, so that is missing. Okay, then you analyze the main subject. Then you come to the remedy, and then if you know you don't know about it, he's questioning this one. I cannot leave him independent. Let me take him to the practice. Still, there is a chance he will do the fault because it's just a new information to him. Be ready for the fault, or give him the prompt, or go for the level, talk through prompt, or what level you want to try him to the practice. Make a new agreement, right? And then be ready for the fault. Be ready to take over, and if you do good, be ready to praise. Then all work back again in a circle because he done this question, so that means something is missing. And if you forget it, to answer him, do any time in the lesson. If you give half the answer because something else comes up, stop over, complete the answer. And then this thing come again. You giving him the answer, just you passing him technical information. Then comprehensive, appropriate, and accurate. Use the book or ask him his style of learning because if he got a question, somewhere he need to learn. You want me to book this, give him a chance of lot of style. And let him pick one of them. Then everything will match interlink with each other. and you're doing all the work, the characteristics of your 17 comments, then you're doing everything, and you're doing all what working for him, not just giving him the answer straight away. And you think he asked me something, I gave him the answer, job done. No, job not done here. That is a hint. Something is missing. Job is not done. New agreement, new practice, new this, everything comes back again. What we do normally. Do you have any question? And then we make a plan. Oh, ask me something, ask me something. And then, oh, can you tell me? And then he give the right answer and done. No, it's not done. Something is missing. Nobody asks you a question if they know everything. Something is missing. So that is a hint. And then never leave them on the same topic. Let's say if they're talking about the mini roundabout, and then the mini roundabout comes up soon after that, they're not 100%. Even you give them a right answer, everything is a new, fresh information. So make sure it's not independent. Unless you encourage them to do independent and offer your help. You do it, I'm here to help you. Okay? So that way. Second last is very simple, don't discriminate manner throughout the session. You don't say anything and you don't hear anything. Don't say, I normally say, don't use any words. Don't say bus driver, van driver, white van, taxi people, cycle, lady. See the woman driving car? Yeah. Can't you just say car? Can't you say road user? Can't you say vehicle? Why woman driving a car? So something they are different. So make sure your words are there. We don't sometimes feel it, we say it. And we think it's nothing wrong. That's why we don't feel we are saying something wrong. How many times just remind your own lessons? Sometimes somewhere you use some word which should not be there. Because we don't feel we're doing it. We just a normal habit. Same way, if your students use these words, encourage them to analyze the problem and challenge them. Why are you saying this? Ah, sorry, I say you say the what happened? You know, like this. Because you heard the sound. You're watching your surroundings. You're watching the people action. Why is making that sound? Something, like pissing him off. I need to find out what. And you look on the surrounding and you're like, what? I don't know which road user is feeling more that way. Ah, I got it. He's worried about this motorbike. The way he's doing that is okay. So that means he's thinking the motorbike is a little bit different level, and he's relaxed from the other traffic, but he's not relaxed with the motorbike. So that means talk about it. Talk about it. Why? How come you make the sound? Is something different about that car? Don't use the word. Don't let him use it. Don't use it. Simple example. "Oh, this taxi driver, be careful. Why you say taxi driver careful? Who they are? Yeah. So if they say, "Oh, I'm not gonna go. I don't believe these people. They can go anywhere." Why you say this? Who people? Which people you talking about? This Uber drivers. That they just do move up without signal like that. Any people move over without signal. Any car move over. You just need to anticipate the problem. Look at who they are. Treat them as a challenge them straight away if they say anything. This is one of the easy three numbers people can, but they don't challenge it. You don't have to do anything. You just have to shut your mouth and let them check them out. You get three numbers here. You don't need to do nothing. Okay? And plus is the diversity. You get different kind of clients in your car. From children to adult, male, female, all race, nationality, small, this, that. That's what they want to see. That you always stay normal, same for everybody. That's what they want to see. That's why I just show them. Does not matter who is on the driving seat. I do exactly the same. The last one, add the lesson. Like when we was talking about sufficient feedback, risk management is the same thing. But this time, the sufficient feedback is the performance of the student. You encourage them to speak up. speak up what they have learned from you. What is the mistake? You finish your lesson late normally, yeah, and then you try to wrap up quickly, and then you don't spend a good time to talk about feedback. You try to close the lesson because you're late. So if you come early, spend a good time, then you're able to do it, and you don't say what you have done good. You let them say what you have done good. Enough nice time. Start with the good points. What went well? Then little bit weak points. Then setting the goal if you want. And if you have a style of scaling, some way there should be some way to reflect. Does not matter which style. Does not matter. They want to see reflection. Student need to reflect. When we give the example of the child. So somebody ask him, he should reflect his learning. If he can't reflect it, that means he still don't learn something from you. And the simple part of the driving, 3 minutes, 40 minutes, 2 minutes. Out of 3 minutes, spend 2 minutes in discussing your goal and needs, lesson structure, planning, and agreement. Right? Then 1 minute for responsibility, sharing the responsibility, you will control whether if you need anything and move the car. If you go a little bit over, does not matter. Okay? But remember, whatever is going over, we reduce from there. And they already mentioned you come on that time, reduce more. But reduce this, not these and this. Anytime you need to reduce this. Drive time you reduce, not this and this. This will not reduce. If it reduces, you're not doing the job properly. Let's say if you're doing 40 minutes, 10, 10, 10, 10. 10-minute drive, pull over, check his reflection. How are you learning? Are you getting better? If you need to make new agreement, changing the responsibility or changing the responsibility, okay, then your next get better because you already done and reflecting here. Then another pull over if you need it. But majority of the time they always do something where you need to pull up, right? Then again new agreement, next 10 minutes, then again final. But this bit, try to make them independent where they reflect their learning which you done here. Otherwise, you're still on the same level until to the last. Okay? So that's the pattern you use. One more thing you can use in the numbering is this now. Hmm? Time
No.
So 45 minutes try to spend before you go to the test. Say your student, you're going to give him a 2-hour lesson. Right? Explain him what gonna happen. Set the goal, talk about whatever you needed, blah blah blah, and then let him make him at least on the prompt level. Take a break. Meet examiner. Tell all the goals you have set with him as a goal plan on your paper note like that. Tell the same thing to the student. Then sit in the car. Say him we're going to continue what we have done on the break. So if you left it on here, we continue from here and I will make you Hindi and little bit advanced. And then doesn't look different. Again, main mistake. You meet the student, you pick the student, you drive the student, or sometimes he drive, you come straight over here. What do you like to do today? Everything is new to him straight away. Do all these things here, make him ready, everything, break, then ask him what you like to do today. So he just have to repeat the same stuff. But how you don't how come nobody do this properly? Because they're asking them for the first time. If you're asking them for the first time, how are you gonna finish in 3 minutes then? If you're telling them for the risk management for the first time, how are you gonna finish it? But you tell them early, you're just repeating it. It then is okay. 3 minutes is enough. But you're telling him first time, take longer. There's a summary you have to give it. I know what we are doing. I know what is the goal I need, but you don't know. Can you quickly summarize it in your words? That's what you do. All right.
I'm gonna have to get up.
Yeah, that's fine. So just continue that one. So there are some pictures of